you so much. The Austin High School Jazz Band with solos by Lauren, Ayla, and Carson. We'll have a very quick switch over and then we'll get to hear from the high school jazz combo.
These 4 chairs go into that row, these 4 chairs go into that.
All right, how about this? We'll use the power.
Our next tune, the Austin High School Jazz Combo, is a group of 9th and 10th graders that have been working with Jacob Burkhart from McPhail Center for Music to do some work on improvising and learning how to play in a small jazz group. So we've got a group of students from the orchestra program that come over and play drums, keyboard, and bass, along with a couple of students from the band program. They're playing together. They're going to play one tune for you, but we would like to take an opportunity to thank McPhail Center for Music for sponsoring this group. Jacob Burkhart usually works with them, but he's gone this weekend, so I'll help them get going on their music, and after that, we'll move into the concert bands with Symphonic Band first. ahead and noodle a little bit. Go ahead and blow up the notes. Welcome to the concert band portion of our program. We'll have our 3 different concert bands playing. Symphonic band starting out here is our non-audition 10th through 12th grade band. They've done quite a bit of work this year, and I think they've got some exciting music to start off with our theme tonight. We're going to open with the theme from the Avengers movie, and seems like a great piece to start off this part of the concert with, so we decided to put Symphonic band first here. So, hope you enjoy the theme from the Avengers. We have a special guest we're going to invite out for our next piece. We've been working on the music from the Incredibles movie, which has a lot of great jazz stuff and a lot of screaming trumpet stuff on the top of it. And we were thinking we would like to recognize one person who's been working in our school system for a long, long time and is retired. Mr. Davis is retiring this year. He's had his final concert with the Ellis Bands. And we wanted to recognize him at this concert as well, so we have him coming out to play a couple pieces, one with Symphonic Band and one later So please welcome Mr. Davis to join us. Thank you so much. That piece is a lot of fun to play. Great way to show off Mr. Davis's trumpet skills a little bit and show off really a lot of the work that that group has been doing this year. Behind me, the students are switching over from one band to the next. It should be a fairly quick switch, and concert band will be on in just a minute. After a few movies in the Marvel series, they brought a bunch of the characters and superheroes together for the movie The Avengers, which we heard earlier. And then in the next set of movies, we introduced a whole new set of characters in Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy didn't have as much original music, but a lot more arrangements of various tunes from the 1970s. And that's what you're about to hear the ninth grade concert band perform. But we will need your help. They have a brief introduction, and then they go into the song Hooked on a Feeling. And when I give you the cue, if you'd like to join us on the uka-chakas, we could use some help on the uka-chakas. So please feel free to join in. I'll let you know when. Thank you so much. That song is absolute blast, a lot of fun to put together, and something that really pushed our ninth graders, but in a fun way, to learn something enjoyable but also challenging. For our next selection, we're actually going to go to a song that was actually always a Disney song, originally a Disney song, and we're inviting our symphonic band members up to come and join on with the ninth graders as well. We'll start out the next piece with just the ninth graders playing, and then toward the end, the symphonic band will join in for a nice rousing ending. We'll get situated, and then this will be music from Mary Poppins. At this time, as we're clearing the stage, we're going to invite up members of the Austin High School Music Hall of Fame Committee for a short presentation. Please welcome Sue Radloff.
Good evening. Is this turn on? Is it coming through? Hello. I'm so happy to be able to present our class for this year. I just want to mention that Ken Jensen started the Music Hall of Fame in 2009, and we are presently the only school in the Big Nine, which is, I guess, the Big 11, that actually has a Music Hall of Fame, and we're pretty proud of that. So far, we've inducted 38 people over the past years. They've all been outstanding, and if you're wondering what it is, there's 3 requirements. They have to be a graduate of Austin High School. They have to have done something outstanding in either performing, teaching, or in the music industry, and blank. And they also, it has to be at least 10 years that they've been since they've graduated. So I'm going to announce the 3 names and then just give you a little brief summary of each one and have them stand. The first person honored is Jack Tedrow, who graduated in 1944, and he is no longer with us, but his children are here to accept the award. And he did some interesting things. After graduation, he went to Northwestern University in Chicago, got both his master's and his bachelor's degree there. And after teaching in Michigan for a short time, he came back to Austin and taught here till 1985. And he was quite the musician. He played in many groups, the Rollo Sissel, Bobby Thompson, and Earl White bands. And he was accomplished on many different instruments. He played in the Rochester Symphony, Austin Symphony, and even the Sheldon Theater Brass Band over in Red Wing. After he retired, he continued to work in instrument repair, so he kept very active his life. So here to accept his award earlier this evening are his children, Kathy Knutson and Peter Tedrow. So I would like to ask them to stand now and accept your applause. Thank you. All right, our next inductee is Sarah Johansson, and she was in the class of 1974. And she, I guess when she was a senior, she even sang the lead in Kiss Me Kate, which is a very impressive show to do, and she was in the Austin Airs, as well as the choir. She got her bachelor degree from the University of Kansas and her master's in voice from the University of Illinois. She won an award as a regional Metropolitan Opera audition, which was very impressive at an early age. And then she moved to New York in 1984, and finally on to Germany in 1994. And she's sung many leading roles in opera companies there, including some of the places she has sung are the Lyric Opera of Verona, the Rome Opera, and the Opera Bastille in Paris. So she's done major things, and I think she said her favorite role was it Electra? I think that was, she said, yes, Electra was her favorite, but she's done the Brunhildes and Isolde and many wonderful. She's just had a stellar career, and she now lives outside of Frankfurt and Main in Germany, and with her husband Wolfgang Michael, who is a conductor, and she made the trip from Germany just to receive this award. I think we should all give her a warm welcome, Sarah Johansson. And our third inductee is Matthew Penning, and he was in the class of 1990. He had a great love of music through the public schools and Our Savior's Lutheran Church, and was the student of Janet Gilbertson on both piano and organ, so he feels that she was very influential in his life. He served at churches in Minnesota, Oregon, and Iowa, and is presently serving at One Ancient Hope Presbyterian Church in Iowa City. And he loves working with young people and inspiring them. He directs bell choirs, regular choirs, gives private lessons. He does many things. And one of his favorite things that he's done is he helped restore, he was key in getting an old 3-manual mechanical action organ restored, and that's used in a church. And he is presently, did I say he's now serving as the music instructor or the music clergy at One Ancient Hope Presbyterian Church in Iowa City. And that's where he lives with his wife, Tamara, and their 2 daughters. So let's honor Matthew Penning. I just want to mention, if you haven't seen it before, right out in that corner, when you just before you come into Knowlton Auditorium, we have a gallery of all the people that have been honored over the years, and you should take a look at that to see who some of those wonderful people are. So, thank you for your time.
We'll have a very brief transition here as Wind Ensemble comes to the stage. If you need to stand up and stretch, feel free to do that now. We'll be back on in about 4 minutes. The first piece for wind ensemble this evening, we're going to feature Mr. Davis one more time. When I was thinking about different music, really exciting trumpet themes and stuff that would be a great way to send Mr. Davis off. And also something that would be really fun for this group to play. This is the first thing that came to mind, and it seemed like the right piece. We're going to play Raiders March by John Williams, featuring Mr. Davis on lead trumpet. And just so you all know this, 3 weeks ago today, Wind Ensemble performed at the Big Nine Music Festival, and we've learned all of the music you're going to hear since then, with a lot of our students performing with orchestra the following week. So we've learned all of this music in about 2.5 weeks. I think you're really going to enjoy it. So without further ado, Raiders March.
graders came with me, my seventh grade band, and I don't know if you all remember, but I was saying, just think, when you guys graduate, I'm gonna be retired. And they probably weren't even like thinking about even the next year, let alone graduation. So, but congratulations to all of you, and many successes to you all. So thanks very much.
And thinking of the theme for our concert and our slightly humorous title, Disney Plus, since Disney kind of owns everything these days, we're thinking of all the different worlds and universes that Disney has bought up through the years. And when they bought Lucasfilm, they got the rights to the Indiana Jones films. And there's one more universe that they own as well. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. You'll figure it out. We've gotten to hear from each of the bands already, and we're coming to the part where we get to hear a final performance from our band seniors. This year, we have what may be an Austin record, at least for the past several decades. We have 31 seniors in the band program here this year, and they are going to get arranged here for their senior song. The senior class this year has experienced a lot of things in their 4 years in high school. Some early success as ninth graders in band, and then just a few days after our March concert in 2020, all of a sudden they weren't here anymore, and we weren't here anymore for quite a while. Their sophomore year, they only had band in person twice a week, and only for half of the school year. And so we did a lot of things, not working so much on everyone's skills, but working on keeping the band community intact so that students would be excited to come back and get to play some music together when the time came. And we did that last year. It was a bit of a slow start getting rolling, but then it didn't take long before people were excited to get to play every day again and make music together with other people every day. And I'm so excited that this class stayed with it, stuck with it through all the challenges, and that 31 of them are still on stage here to perform their senior songs tonight. As we were looking at senior songs, as so often happens, we found very strong opinions for various songs, and so we created our own little mashup of some different things. We'll get set for our slideshow, and then we'll play the music that they selected. Seniors, you can have a seat right where you are. And I get to talk a little bit about our seniors this year and share some different things about each of them. And we'll give each of them a couple of final things. Seniors, when we call your name, you can come over here to receive your plaque and your flower, and then just head down to the end of the stage and we'll line up across the front of the stage. I'll get the juniors to help me bring out the cart of awards, and then we'll get started. We're going to start by recognizing our seniors that are in Symphonic Band. We have 5 seniors that have played in Symphonic Band, 4 that have been only in Symphonic Band and have been some great leaders for us in that group this year. The first senior that we'll recognize is Karen. Karen has played flute in the band, has been a great leader within our flute section, and has done a great job. She worked on a difficult solo during some distance learning time and did a lot of great stuff. Congratulations, Karen. We can save our applause for the end, I suppose, because there's a lot. Our second senior tonight is Alyssa. Alyssa also had a difficult year with distance learning in all of 10th grade, but came back strong to be one of the seniors in our Symphonic Band. Our next senior is Maggie. Maggie has been our clarinet section leader for Symphonic Band and has played a lot of little moments that had some solos that she might not have gotten in wind ensemble, and has really been one of the great leaders within our Symphonic Band. Our next senior is Eric. Eric has played trumpet. He did a lot of really interesting work during distance learning. He was part of a class that met online with me once a day for 4 days a week, and we did a lot of interesting studies about different things with music. Then we'll move on to our seniors in wind ensemble, and I'm going in score order because that's the order that directors think in. So we'll go from flutes and work our way down. So our next senior is Kylie. Kylie got into wind ensemble this year and has taken on any challenge that I gave her, whether it was when we needed a piccolo player or if we needed one more person to play in orchestra. She's taken every challenge. In our clarinet section, we have a lot of seniors in wind ensemble this year, starting in the front row with Cassidy. Cassidy has been our clarinet principal player this year. She has done a lot of challenging work, including learning to play the E-flat clarinet in addition to the regular clarinet. Next we have Lydia, who has done a lot of work in band in addition to primarily being a post-secondary student and earning her degree from Riverland at the same time as she was coming in every day to play in band. Next is Iris. Iris stepped up this year for a little solo moment at a performance earlier this year when we needed one clarinet to play a solo. It was one measure long, but certainly not the easiest thing in the world when there's a lot of people looking at you. So Iris has done a lot of great work in band. Next on clarinet we have Brian. Brian has played in wind ensemble for 2 years and definitely has stepped up to the challenge to do a lot of great work in band. Next on clarinet we have Maddie. Maddie has done a lot of work for the music department as a whole, both in band and in choir, and almost single-handedly organized a fundraiser this year that raised enough money to refurbish the original Steinway piano that was bought 102 years ago when the north end of the building was built. It was the original piano in Christgau Hall. It's been in the district ever since, and is currently being restored largely because of Maddie's work to get that instrument rebuilt. Next is Jennifer. Jennifer has taken on a lot of challenge with difficult music, jumping into wind ensemble this year, and has really stepped up to the challenge. She worked really, really hard on the audition last year, and I'm really impressed with her work to play music at this level. Next is Vida. Vida also joined Wind Ensemble this year and was pretty much scared right away by how difficult the music was, but also put in the time to really learn to play this level of music. Congratulations, Vida. Next is Chris, our senior bass clarinet player. Chris moved here, Chris, you moved here going into 11th grade, right? From a small school that only had 8 students in band and all of a sudden was thrown into a very large band program. He has really stepped up to the challenge of playing music at this level. He was also the only contrabass clarinet player in the Big 9 Select Band this year, representing our whole conference on contrabass clarinet. Next is Caleb on both bassoon and saxophone. Caleb has played a number of different instruments. Bassoon is his primary instrument in band and orchestra. He's also played alto sax in a lot of pep band and marching things, and both alto and bari saxes in the jazz bands. Next on saxophone is Carson. Carson has been our jazz band principal saxophone, and he has played every saxophone during his time in high school. He's played alto sax as well as some soprano sax in concert band. He's played tenor sax and alto sax in jazz band. He played bari sax a couple times, and I'm pretty sure he's at least played one note on the bass saxophone before just to see what would happen. Next is Sydney. Sydney has played a lot of tenor sax during her time in the Austin High School bands, but this year we needed one more alto player, and she agreed to move back to alto and cover some of those parts that we needed on alto, which was a challenge at first, I think, switching back, but something that she really has succeeded at this year. Next is Molly. Molly moved here in 10th grade, kind of mid-pandemic, and had to try and make a whole group of friends when not everybody was at school at the same time. And Molly really did a great job reaching this level of music as well as making a whole new group of friends through the band program. Next is Aiden. Aiden has been our bari sax player, and I think we knew right away when he got to high school that he wanted to focus on the bari sax because he liked the big, low sound. He played a little bit of tenor as well, but we've pretty much stuck with bari. Then moving to our brass instruments, in the trumpet section, next is Zoe. Zoe is our band president this year and has spent very little time at the high school as she's been mostly taking classes. She graduated from Riverland last week and already has a college degree before having her high school diploma yet. And she has put in a lot of extra time after school or after class when she's had gaps in her schedule to really be our lead trumpet player this year. Next is Lauren. Lauren and Zoe rarely do anything separately, and it makes sense that they are band president and vice president and sit next to each other for the last couple of years of band because they work together so well. They challenge each other and push each other, and I've enjoyed having both of them challenging each other in band. Next is Sebastian. Sebastian moved here for 11th grade and did some great work right away as the leader in our symphonic band, and then has moved up into wind ensemble as well, filling in on both trumpet and horn wherever we need more sound. Next is Archer. Archer started the year in symphonic band and was willing to, when we needed one more trumpet for some of this music we were playing this semester, Archer was willing to take the gamble of playing in both bands and seeing if that was too much in one day. It turns out that it worked out just fine for him, as he's been our lead trumpet player in symphonic band as well as filling in on some parts in wind ensemble. Moving into our horn section, the next person is Becca, who originally started on trumpet, and we realized about the end of 10th grade going into 11th grade that she was really more of a horn player, as she had kind of hit her peak on trumpet things and really took off with horn as she started taking some private lessons. She's done a great job on horn, both in wind ensemble and with a lot of stuff in orchestra as well. And then next is Joe. Joe is one of our 3-year wind ensemble members on horn. He came into high school and all of a sudden got to hear challenging high school level horn players, and it gave him something to work toward, and he's been in wind ensemble for 3 years since then. Moving to our trombones, next is Chase. Chase is another 3-year wind ensemble member who pushes himself and challenges himself both in band and choir. He's received a lot of awards for his singing and is also our leader in the trumpet section. Here's a plaque for you, Chase. Next is Max. Max agreed to join wind ensemble last year when I needed one more trombone player, and it was pretty difficult to do auditions during the hybrid year, so I asked if he would just come join us for a year and see how it worked, and he really stepped up to the occasion, both in the section and doing some challenging solos as well. Next is Daryl on baritone. Daryl plays a number of different instruments, and anytime he finds a new instrument, he wants to learn how to play it. In band, it's mostly baritone. In orchestra, it's tuba. But if you're around the halls of the MacPhail Center downstairs, you can sometimes hear him playing piano, bass guitar, or drums, or whatever happens to be around. Daryl also was our director for Sleigh Ride last fall. And on tuba, Mark. Mark was another student that came in next year. We had no tubas in wind ensemble last year, and I asked him if he would come play with us and just get a year of experience so that he could come in his senior year knowing a little bit more about what he was doing. And he's done some great work with wind ensemble as well. And then moving to our percussion section, next is Tommy. Tommy's played a lot of drum set, both in school and outside of school, and has stepped up to any challenge I've given him, whether it's something where he has to learn a little bit more mallets or play drum set or whatever we need. Tommy stepped in and done it. Mm-hmm. Next is Thomas. Thomas got into wind ensemble and realized that there's a lot more challenging music out there, and that he was going to have to work at it. And he's put in a lot of work to reach the level of playing that he's at now, and he did a great job with a really challenging timpani solo this year at contest. And next is Wyatt. Wyatt helped anchor the Symphonic Band percussion section for the last 2 years, and this fall we were getting his schedule squared away. And he asked if he could have the challenge of playing in wind ensemble. He said he tends to work up to the level of people that are working around him. As we talked at the end of the year, we agreed that he enjoyed the challenge and enjoyed the music that he got with wind ensemble. Congratulations to our 2023 band seniors. I have a few individual awards for some of our seniors, so seniors, I'll let you keep standing for a couple more minutes, and you can come across if one of these goes to you. We'll start with our John Philip Sousa Award, which is the biggest band award that is given out by every school in the country, and I can tell you, with 31 seniors, it's been challenging to pick some of these awards, knowing how many seniors have put a lot into this music program over their last 4 years. The John Philip Sousa Award is named, of course, after John Philip Sousa, the band director, early 1900s band director in the United States for several decades, composed a lot of music, directed military bands, and community bands in the United States. And he was known for being someone who would listen to his musicians. If somebody would suggest maybe there was a way that something could be adjusted or played a little bit better, he would take those suggestions. And so this award, our highest honor, is for students who have really helped other people in addition to being excellent musicians, students who have encouraged others around them to grow as musicians and as people, and have done a lot to help our music program this year. And for the first time this year, our vote was too close to call, which means that I have to give 2 John Philip Sousa Awards this year, which we have never done before. I'll just tell you who they are without saying much more. This year's John Philip Sousa Awards go to Carson Cannon and Lauren Pike. Our next award is the Louis Armstrong Jazz Award. Again, another national award that is given to one student in every school that has a jazz band program. Louis Armstrong, a great jazz musician, and also a great human being as well. And I think this award is appropriately selected in a near unanimous vote among the jazz band members. The Louis Armstrong Jazz Award goes to Carson Cannon. Our next award is the Band Director's Award. This one has no specific criteria, but it's an award that I can give to students who have given a lot to the music program and to the band program here. And this year I felt that there was one student who really deserved an award for this, a student who has pushed others around them to get better, has challenged people around them when needed, and has really been a leader across the band. This year's Band Director's Award goes to Zoe. Before our final award, before the Band Spirit Award, we have one scholarship that we get to present tonight. This was created last year in memory of Conrad Music, and I'm going to invite Mr. Race Hardy up to come share a little bit about Mr. Music and about this year's recipient.
Welcome, people. Thanks, everybody, for being here tonight. Bands, thanks for your playing tonight. Really appreciate it. All the music teachers here, thank you. Sadly, Mr. Jensen left. I was hoping everybody afterwards would get a chance to meet that guy. He's the one who started the Hall of Fame. Please take the time sometime, you seniors, before you leave town, to look up Mr. Jensen and get a chance to meet him. Danny couldn't be here tonight. Danny Music, he's Mr. Music's youngest boy. And Vince, his oldest boy, couldn't be here either. He lives in Minneapolis, but Danny lives here. But Mr. Music told us the summer before I was in 10th grade, he told our band that if you care about yourself, you'll do well as a musician. He had us all together. He said, if we care about each other, we'll be unstoppable. In that band, we ended up three-peating at the Mason City Music Festival after we all bought into that philosophy that just about caring about each other. If you knew Mr. Music, that might not have been how he presented himself, but if you played for him, you knew 100% that he cared about you. I was a horrible student in high school, and Mr. Music set me straight before I got out of here, so I'm forever indebted to him. Sadly, I blew it. I wanted to start this in 2019, and I didn't get my act together. And then COVID hit in 2020, and then Mr. Music sadly passed away the summer of 2020. So I'm always swatting myself in the back of the head for screwing that up so that he could have been here for the first one. But Mrs. Music, Danny, and Vince all say thank you to everybody who's involved in Austin music. And this year we have 2 recipients. Danny said, Ray, since you finally got to act together at age 95, I'll match your scholarship. So I really appreciate that from Danny. I wish he was here. He's at the 32nd annual Chicago Drum Festival, which is this weekend, but he's helping out, so that's why he had to leave early to get to Chicago. But this year, the 2 recipients of the Conrad Music are Maggie and Lauren. And Maggie Cruz Vasquez and Lauren Pike.
So,
Again, thanks a lot. And once again, please, if you get the chance, thank the music teachers that are here tonight. Mr. Burkhart's here. Mrs. Radloff's here, and I'm not sure who else is here. I'm sorry I was off to the side, but please thank them for all the work they do. And thanks, everybody.
Our final award of the evening is presented by the students in all of the bands. We give every student in every band an opportunity to vote on the Band Spirit Award, simply because it's something that recognizes students who have not just helped with their own band or their own grade, but students whose leadership has been recognized by students in all of the grades in all of the bands. This year we have 2 Band Spirit Awards, an exact tie in voting among all of our 9th through 12th graders. So we have 2 Band Spirit Awards. The first Band Spirit Award comes to no surprise to the students, someone who is connected with all the students in all the grades through social media, Becca Wicks. The second Band Spirit Award was voted on quite heavily by students in some of the younger bands based on someone who's been a leader in our pep bands and visible to students across a number of bands, Archer Jovog. In just a moment, I'll call up all the band students for our finale piece this evening, but before I do, let's give one final thank you to the 31 seniors from the band class of 2023. I guess the seniors have asked if they could have the microphone for a minute before we play our final piece. And Mark, they've asked if they could have the projector back on.
Yeah! The projector! I can't wait for it to come back down. You gotta get it right this time.
I can start speaking.
Yes, okay. So it's that. Yeah. So all you'll have to do is just
Stay right here.
hit from current slide.
You don't have to find that back. So I would like to share some of my favorite doneness quotes this year. Throughout the year, an anonymous student has run a Instagram page with all of Mr. Dunnes's funniest thing he said. Again, this is anonymous, but side note, if you hear Dunnes say anything funny, tell Becca Wicks. So my first favorite thing that he said was, play it like a tire popping on the interstate. Play it like clubbing a baby seal. Play it like a lawnmower with engine problems. My second favorite thing that he said was, no Bach today. He's dead, we'll just leave him like that. And finally, theoretically, string players could play without breathing. They'd die eventually, though. So now that we have all the gifts out here, we'll start with some of the more serious gifts and then, go on to jokes. So our first gift for Mr. Dunnes is some custom stickers. Throughout the year, Mr. Dunnes gave out stickers to people who played challenging parts of their music very well. So we needed to make sure that he never, ever runs out of music. So we got him 200 custom stickers on that board there. It says, I can't believe you've done this. And if you think that's a corny joke, count yourself lucky because he says a bunch of dad jokes every day in band. I mean, let's be honest, he named this Disney Plus. That's what he named the concert. All right, anyway, we'll get on to the less serious jokes with Lauren.
Thank you, Mr. 1 for 5. Okay, yeah, on a less serious note, we all like to thank Mr. Dundas, but who we would really like to thank in addition is his family. I would like to thank Kelsey and the kids so much for all the shenanigans they put up with us and letting us steal him for pep band and marching and concerts and all of the fun stuff. So we asked the seniors to pitch in, and we got you guys all-day wristbands for the 5 of you to go to Nickelodeon at the Mall of America. A little bit. So for the last thing tonight, I'm gonna give it to Zoe to finish us.
Hello, hello, hello. I did not know I was going to be making a speech until about an hour ago, so this is going to be a little impromptu. But normally, us seniors, every single year, make a board with all the pictures of us because we know how bad memory he has, so we don't want him to forget about us. So, I was in charge of making this, and it says, Mr. Dundas, class of 2023, just wanted to leave you with something to remember us by. You are now and will always be our conductor. I don't. I made sure to put a lot of tape on this just to prolong the process.
And with that, we are almost to the end of our concert tonight. I want to check and see. I told the kids I was shooting for 8:55 to be done. It looks like we're going to make it. For our final piece, we get to hear from all of the bands together. on a selection of music from Pirates of the Caribbean, which is just an exciting piece of music for all of us to play in one gigantic band together. We're not quite done yet, and we've got one more surprise mystery guest as well. So we'll move on with Pirates of the Caribbean. Thank you so much, students. You're welcome.